This person writes, good 2 dates, some confusion, and some weird gut feelings. So I heard somewhere that our guts have the same amount of neurons, the same things that are in our brains, as a cat brain. And so it's like, and I tell you that to really support the point that our guts actually do have intelligence in them. And so that really supports the credibility of a gut feeling. And so oftentimes it is pretty smart to trust your gut again, because they do have their own neurons, um, and therefore their own intelligence. So both in our early 30s and met her on an app. So guy writing this, turns out we had lots of common interests and eventually we planned on meeting up. When I threw out a time and place, she mentioned I picked the exact same time and place as another date and thought it was funny. You're like, oh, great. Well, one, she's kind of rubbing this in your face that she has other options. And that's kind of not cool for her to do. And so I get where you're getting a gut feeling from this. I thought this was weird to bring up, but also understand people see others so brushed off as inexperienced. Yeah, but honestly, it's like it's really her almost being like insecure or saying like, "Oh, look how good I am." And so she's gonna almost like be passive aggressive, like, "Oh, look, I have other options, so you're kind of a second option to me." And you don't really agree ever to be a second option. Um, and so that's probably what I'd say in that situation right from the start. It's like, oh, well, I'm not really interested in being a second option. So, if something changes, feel free to reach out, but otherwise, take care. And you walk away and you don't look back. And then she has to come to you at that point. But he continues on. He goes for it, basically reschedules around this other guy. Um, we met and she was nice, cute, and the conversation flowed naturally. She even complimented me a few times, which was nice. Yeah, I mean, when women compliment you, it shows that they have a high level of interest in you. Even if it's the most basic compliments you could ever imagine, like, hey, nice shirt, you know? Um, we parted ways and agreed to meet up again, meet up next week. A day after the date at 12 a.m., she drunk texted saying I was very cute and had a really nice time, but she wasn't sure if I was interested in her or if I was a bad texter. Well, one, I wouldn't even respond to that night. I wait till the next day. This also felt kind of weird considering it was one day of not texting. But I wrote back saying, "No, it's okay, yeah." In those situations, don't write back until the next day, and then you might come up with some kind of response that was in reference to her calling you a bad texter, because it's like this is kind of the second time she just kind of like throwing these barbs at you. She threw it with bringing up that other guy initially, and then also here with just basically challenging you. It's like, yes, masculinity grows with challenge, but that's usually from other guys challenging each other, not from their woman challenging them. Oftentimes that can just be almost like borderline kind of abusive. Like if she's almost making him feel like he's not succeeding and not good enough, it's just really preying on one of his biggest desires in relationships, which is to succeed. Um, So he writes back, he says, I thought she was cute, but was waiting to hear about my work schedule before I made plans. We then texted through the week, exchanging some pictures and texts. It's like, get to the point, dude. Eliminate that crap because it's just like get to know kind of phase. And that's not going to raise her attraction, whether you think it will or not. More often than not, you're just going to make mistakes with texting. She's going to test you while on the phone. Know that women weed out guys over the phone. They basically dig for their insecurities. And once they find them, it's like totally off putting for them. And also know that when you're texting, it's only words. And so with every text you send, Send it knowing or with like kind of the expectation that it will be interpreted in the worst possible way that it could. And if it's in a way, if it can be interpreted in a way that really can be destructive or something that you don't want to be conveyed, then just don't send it. But ideally, you want to use the phone to set dates, be direct, decisive, get to the outcome that you want. That can be setting dates or just getting some kind of information. But it's like if she messages you during the week, it's not about like you ignoring her or whatever. Maybe you do like 3 texts from your part and then say, hey, I can't wait to see you Saturday night on our plans that we made. But personally, this woman's kind of giving hints that I would be turned off by, and I would definitely, me personally, I would just distance myself from this woman, because it just seems like she's trying to create a bunch of drama. But yeah, okay, work. When we texted the week with some pictures and text, we met for drinks and went roller skating for the second date. Something she mentioned she enjoyed. Yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes it's good to do that. Sometimes it's good to just do whatever you want to do, kind of thing. Um, because it's like if you get into the realm, I just see this sometimes where she mentions something that she likes, but then he just overdoes it and basically says does everything that she wants to do and nothing that he wants to do. And when this is the case, it's like he's just kind of going along with whatever she wants, being kind of this pleaser role, and he's not going to get respected when he's not acting congruent in what he wants to do as well. And just putting her like she is the only priority and his emotions aren't a priority. Just be careful on that. Conversations go well and we had a good time. Felt a lot like the first date. We both leave saying we want to meet up again. Yeah, okay. One, it's like you don't necessarily want to. If she brings it up to see each other again, yeah, you can do it. But if you're the one bringing it up to see each other again, that can sometimes be conveyed as, did I do good on this date? To good enough that you will go on another date with me? And it's just approval seeking. It's almost like validation seeking. And also what it does is it eliminates that phase of the space. And so what you're doing is you're eliminating her opportunity to wonder about you, to go over how she felt with you in that moment, to sometimes talk to her friends about you, to decide about you. And with all those things that she does, when you give her that space, all those things raise her attraction, raise the anticipation for that next date. And that's why I talk about the importance of that closeness when you get together on a date and just have fun on the date. But then also the equally important phase of that space. And that's when you give her time away from you. And then it just basically recharge. And then it's like have fun, recharge, have fun. And so often guys basically eliminate that space phase, and that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. And they do that through thinking they have to text her every day, or tell her exactly how they feel about her, or so there's no mystery basically. And also what I'm noticing is he's not making any moves. He's not kissing her. They're just like going on these dates, but it's like you have to go for that move, make a move, go for that goodnight kiss. It's like if she denies you, then her interest isn't high enough. Or she's structured thinking that it's like, well, I have to wait all these dates before I kiss him and all these dates before we have sex. And it's like either way, it's like, well, one, either she doesn't have a high enough interest, so you don't go on future dates with her, and if she's structured, it just really causes a lot of problems because it's like she's not acting incongruent with how she's feeling in a moment. And then sometimes it's like when sometimes you'll just get women like that are structured to have like these freakouts, like major freakouts, because it's like they feel like they're conflicting their structure on whether it's religion, whether it's just like maybe something that their parents put on them to, oh, this is how you should be, or whatever. It's like they're conflicting their structure with conflicting on leaving you, and it just puts them in a realm that's either way they choose. It's like they're experiencing pain, and so just kind of be aware of those types of structured women in a lot of cases. I do see exceptions to that where some of the structured women are actually really loyal. Like once you have an established relationship. Um, So, to each his own, but it's just like sometimes most of the cases is recommended to kind of steer away from those structured women. Continue on. I text her after the date. It's like, dude, you're eliminating the mystery, eliminating the suspense, eliminating her wondering about you, and said I had a great time. You're telling her exactly how you feel. There's no mystery. But she replied she was thinking she felt a friend vibe. Yeah, you didn't go for any moves, dude. You didn't try to kiss her. I mean, it's like, what do you expect? You say, well, oh, that's too bad. Well, I really wouldn't. Um, that's not what my intention was, and I'm not trying to kind of be in that friend zone realm. So if something changes within you, you can reach out, but otherwise, take care. He says, I was bummed and surprised. Told her this, but wished. Told her this. So meaning, oh, I'm bummed and surprised. It's like, oh man, I'm so sad. It's like you don't want to do that. You don't want to convey that. You still in those moments you want to convey strength and like your kind of lost attitude. but wished her well and good luck with everything. Well, that's a good thing that you did. You walked away. That's awesome. But later she texted me again that she was really sorry. She didn't. So what happens? He gives her that space, walks away, and he doesn't reach out to her. And then she's wondering. She's like, okay, did I just make a mistake? And she reaches out, usually with something random, trying to really reignite that again. She didn't know what she wanted or was looking for, but thought I was really cute and very funny. She also told me to feel free to reach out and send funny pictures, memes if I wanted. Don't agree to that, dude. It's like, well, we established that I don't really want to be in this friend zone vibe. And so I really wouldn't be agreeable to kind of doing those things. I think you're great. I think you're awesome. I just don't want to be put in that realm, in that friend zone realm. I think she wanted to play the field, which is fine. Yeah, but you keep saying which is fine, which sometimes is beneficial to not be attached. But sometimes if you're just saying, oh, well, you're kind of like being submissive and saying, oh, we'll just go with this other guy. He's probably really good. It's like sometimes that can be conveyed as weak as well. And it's like you have to see yourself as valuable, and you can't agree to these situations where she's saying, oh, send me funny pictures and you can fulfill this role in me, but I'm never going to kiss you or have anything romantic with me. But I am going to take all your time and take all your emotional energy and basically keep you in this backup role, so you'll be basically closed off to any other women if they ever come to you, because you're basically caught up in the hope of being with me, and that's what I want you to do, and that's what I think we should do. And you're like, fuck no. you know. He says this all kind of left me a bit confused about her, as she seemed a bit all over the place interest wise. You're just not acting strong. You didn't basically make moves. You made some mistakes, and you're not acting in ways that build her attraction. You're always giving her that space, always texting her, telling her exactly how you feel about her, exactly how you feel. And so there's no basically mystery, no opportunity for her to work to find out and discover new things about you, which is a hugely essential part of getting her to be attracted to you, because women like to do that. It's like one of their best skills is to kind of dig for information. Um, and by you being an open book, it really robs her of that basically skill, that opportunity to do that, which isn't as fun for her. I was bummed regardless, but I'm not torn up. I wanted some perspective on this, but also I feel a need to listen to my gut more with people dating more. Yeah, but what's your gut tell you? I still think she's interested as a person, though, and liked my interactions with her. I'm going to date other people I have lined up. Awesome, dude. That's the best move you could do. But I also sort of kind of like just talking to her in general, and that's the worst thing you could probably do. Because once you establish and agree to be in friend zone, it's like you're just going to stay there. So much harder to basically go from friend zone to a relationship than it is go from nothing to a relationship, or like a dating relationship. So just understand that. And wanted to reach out down the road and say, let's keep in touch. Advice. You can say, let's keep in touch, but you should establish that, hey, let's keep in touch in the case that you want to take this further than the friend zone, not this let's keep in touch as friends kind of deal. Yeah, dude. It's like, because what's going to happen is you're going to basically shut yourself off to these other women because you're getting hopes up to be with this woman, because it's like, well, you want more than friend zone, but now you're agreeing to be in friend zone. So now you're not congruent with your actions, with your words. And oftentimes when guys get in this place, it's like, well, they think everything's a sign when they're in this friend zone thing. Oh, that's a sign that she likes me. That's a sign. That's a sign. And it's just not the case. Oftentimes it's just her being polite. And that's when guys get in trouble. They take action that's basically forced, that's not appropriate to the context of the situation. And that's oftentimes when guys get in trouble. And so it's like, eliminate that friend zone phase, thinking that you're going to basically step by step your way up to a relationship or a dating relationship. It just doesn't work that way. So if you want a guide, my products are in the description below and you can get that. And I'll see you on the next video.